It's 2025. What are we doing here at 7 o'clock? It's the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 231, featuring Larry the Magnificent.
I got promoted over the new year. My
Yeah,
goodness.
Bubba Sue on time. Even though it was a new time, she's here live. This time must work out for her because she's never. Well, I shouldn't say she's never here live at 8, but I know a lot of times she comments, says, "Oh, I gotta catch it on the flip side." So welcome.
Trying
Larry,
out the new time period.
how are you? How are you feeling? How are you looking?
Well, I feel fine. It's a new year. We're getting ready to get a couple inches of snow, so
wow,
everybody's getting ready for that. The grocery store shelves have been wiped clean.
jeez.
Snowmageddon is happening for, we're getting 3 to 5 inches.
3 to 5 inches. I mean, I can give you 3 to 5 inches, but it's going to be uncomfortable.
Oh my goodness. Doing well. Yeah. I had a nice break off, had 2 weeks off. They shut down the college that I work for. They shut down completely for 2 weeks. So everybody gets a nice 2-week paid time off during Christmas time, which is the first time, that's happened. So me and my wife had the exact same 2 weeks off. And then our first day that we were supposed to go back, we got snowed out. So got an extra day off.
I would say it's that time of year, but it's typically you don't get snow like you're getting.
Usually our snow's more in January, February, later January, all through February. So this is a little bit early, but the weather's just wackadoodle these days. You never know what's going to happen.
Right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Go to gigeconomyshow.com to sign up for the newsletter, which I need a new one. I need a new Patreon member and a new newsletter subscriber. Go ahead and do that. And then I want to thank our Patreon members, Samson, Bud, Steve, Omar, Delivery Cats, Frank, Jamie, Tom, Jim, Miguel, Linda, and then Jerry. And Jerry is due for a t-shirt, and I emailed him and I chatted with him in Patreon, and I haven't heard anything from him. So I'd love to get that t-shirt made for you. You've hit the tier where you get the t-shirt, and made by yours truly. So check it out. If you want to try a 7-day free trial, go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ podcast, or just search the Gig Economy Podcast. When you get in there, you can sign up. You get ad-free episodes at the $10 tier. You get a t-shirt, you get an extra podcast a month, you get all kinds of fun stuff. So check that out. And then we have a group that you can chat about the gig economy or whatever, or get trolled by one of your Patreon members. You can have that too. You want to tell them about that, Larry?
Yeah, that's our Telegram group. So Telegram is a communication app. It's kind of like texting back and forth. So you can send text messages, but you can also do voice messages, which is really nice when you're out working. You don't want to be trying to text and drive, but it's real easy to do through Telegram. You just push a button, you can set it and it will hold. You just talk into there and send voice messages. We have gig workers all over the country, all over the world, that we chat back and forth and talk about what's going on in the gig economy. What's hot, what new apps are happening, how your day's going. We bitch about our bad deliveries and our bad customers, and talk about the good times as well.
For sure. Then I dropped the newsletter link in whatever platform you are watching it. Also trying to build a TikTok audience, as you'll see in the next couple months. I kind of pushed it in December, but I'm going to be putting up a lot of shorts on YouTube and a lot of TikToks, just little clips from the show. So go ahead and like those, share those, whatever, follow if you haven't followed. I would really appreciate it. All right. Stories from the road. I saw the title, and it's bad enough to see one puker, but when I see a couple of pukers,
okay.
Is this a trick question? Is this going to be like the guy that left the fire?
This is not. This is not. So here's okay. So the first one was before New Year's Eve. So I'm one of 7 kids. All of us live either here or about 15 miles away in a little city called Franklin, which is right next to Bowling Green, except for one sister who lives down in Clearwater, where you were just at.
Yeah.
But her and her husband came up for Christmas this year. It's the first time they've been, I think, here for Christmas, I think in about 6 years. So the day before Christmas Eve, the 7 siblings all decided we would get together and have dinner at this Mexican restaurant there in Franklin. And you could bring, spouses were welcome too if they can make it. So we were there, and my little sister my youngest sister, she lives about a mile away from me. And she texted me. She's like, "Hey, Jared," which is her husband, was not going. She said, "Hey, I want to ride with you because I want to drink a margarita." That's fine, no big deal. So we'll get there. We're having fun. Well, they have a big margarita. My older sister lives in Franklin. She's like, "Watch out! They make them stout here." So she had a margarita, and then she ordered a shot of I don't know, vodka or something, but it was like a double shot. It was big.
Oh boy.
And then she had another double shot, and then she had a lemon drop shot.
And we're up to 5 shots and the margarita.
Yeah. So then about 10 minutes later, she's over there with her hands in her head, just not feeling good.
Of course.
So yeah, we're getting ready to go. Well, we get to the car and we're sitting there, and she's like, "Hold on," and I was like, "I got right here." You know how they are. They always want to open the door. They always want to throw up outside, even if you have puke bags. So she opens the door, starts throwing up in the parking lot. So anyway, ended up hanging out with her for a while because every time I'm like, "Okay, you ready to go?" We'd start moving. She would get sick again. So finally got her back, back to Bowling Green, got her home. Did not realize this. Got home at like 11:15, and went over and looked around there. She had actually thrown up, hit the inside of my door, outside of the door. So I go back out and go to the car wash, the ones where you can put your quarters in and spray your car down. So went and got it all washed over there. So that was the first one.
Before you go on, this was your sister?
This is my
oh boy.
So yeah, of course I gave her a bunch of crap
the
next day, but anyway, it was all good. It wasn't much of a mess. I mean, not really.
Right.
It did not take long to clean up. And then New Year's Eve night did have one puker. Had 2 guys. One got in the front. He was not very drunk. His buddy in the back was definitely more drunk. So I'm chatting with the guy up front, and I look in the mirror, and I'm like, "Dude, your friend's not looking good." So I pick him, hand him a puke bag, like, "Here, give him that." About that time, you hear the window go down the back. It's always don't, always a sign. So I'm like, "Dude, throw up in the bag. Throw up in the bag. Do not be trying to throw up out my window." And he proceeds to puke several times, but keeps it in the bag. Nothing getting anything in the car. Like, we're all good. We're cool, man. We're good. So I only had one puker that actually messed up my car, and that was a family member.
And then you probably didn't get the $150 from her.
No, I did not. But you know what? I love my sister. I love all my family. We're really close for having such a big family, seven kids. Like I said, we do sibling weekends. Just the 7 of us go away for like 2-3 days. We love each other to death. We'll do anything for each other. Like she has 3 daughters, and every year they make Christmas cookies and bring them to me and deliver them to me like a couple of days or 2 before Christmas, and
nice.
Just love them to death. So yeah, it's no big deal.
So what the funny part is like, you're so nice. I would bring that up for the next, I don't know, 5 to 7 years every time we got together. You remember when so-and-so got shit?
It will be brought up. It will be brought up for sure.
Okay.
It already has.
For sure. That's amazing. Not much for me. I did a little bit of I was gone for the 1 week, and then the other week I did work Christmas Eve, did pretty good sparking there. Last weekend we got back on Friday. I think I only worked Sunday, did pretty good too. They have relatively okay bonuses. I mean, not huge, but like I think it was, if you do 6 orders, you got $24, which is it's not huge, but it's better than nothing.
Sure.
The hop skip drive update. So it really is during when I'm driving bus. Like, I have been on the platform. I've been offered rides. The surges are nuts though, because there's one that's like 3 miles from me, and it was like, I don't know, $13 or $15 ride, which it's not a far ride, but I just thought it would pay a little bit more. But
Yeah.
I got notifications on it. I noticed that as it got towards 3, they were charging the surge was $45.
Oh, wow.
So they really want to do that. And I feel bad. And I'm gonna try if I have some time off.
Yeah.
Like maybe because I want to get at least a couple of rides just so I don't get kicked
Sure.
off the platform
Yeah.
because I don't know what's gonna happen in the summer. I mean, you
Right.
can't tell me that business shuts down in the summer.
Right. No, I'm sure that. And so that was $45 that the driver would get. $45
That was the
surge.
surge, and I think the fare was like $13 for like a 3-mile ride.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But it slowly went up from that. You know what I mean? It
Sure.
was like it was a a $15 surge and 25 and so on and so forth. But
Right. It's like a roadie. It starts going up.
yeah. But the base I thought, I thought it would be a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Let me bring it. I actually have it on my iPhone
Okay.
and not my work phone, but I was just gonna give you some sample rides. Let's see. Let's look for tomorrow. I don't think anyone's taking rides. So like 8:30 to 5, or sorry, 8:30 to 8:50, a $14 fare for 6.9 miles, but then it has a $9 boost right now. So it's all they call it a boost.
Right.
So it's already been boosted. But see, even $14. So what would a 7-mile drive cost get you from Uber? Like maybe $10 or no, that's too much, isn't it? It's
Not here.
well, for you, it's different.
It's different.
But,
Yeah. It would get me at least 10.
I'm trying to find like a shorter drive, but yeah, they're all about that amount. Let's see. Here is a 7-mile ride for $14 plus a $3 boost. So
Yeah.
I don't know. In my head, I thought it would be more.
Sure.
Maria, what's a surge? Come on, damn it. You know what that is. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would be a little bit more. The cool thing is though, is if you wanted to do that regularly, they have series. Like most of these rides are all the same rides every day.
Right. Right.
You can sign up for the series and like you could do it for the whole week.
Okay. That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
instead of getting a different driver every week, if they know
Yeah.
they need that ride every day, why not get the same driver? That's gonna you kind of develop a little familiarity with them. And
Yeah, the only problem is like I wouldn't want to commit to that because like then it's like a job. Then I'm on jail.
yeah, you don't, but some people might.
Yeah.
Some people,
Yeah,
especially
for
if they
sure.
know they're going to be driving. That's what their full time gig. That's what they do every day. They're like, I'm going to be out here every day. I might as well have this guaranteed ride.
Guaranteed ride, yeah, and then jump back into the rest of your ride share or whatever you're gonna do. So
Yeah.
so yep, haven't taken a ride yet.
Yeah.
I have a half day on the 20th. I might try to do it in the afternoon just to pick one up, just to try it.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's what's happening there.
Okay, yeah, and I did drive New Year's Eve. Seems like nobody in our group drives New Year's Eve anymore.
No, it's not
that
worth
used to
it.
be. Well, it was for me.
Well, you drove a 46 hours in 24.
Yeah. But it was worth it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was worth it to me. It was kind of a slow start to the night, and no bonuses on Lyft or Uber of any kind offered on New Year's Eve. So
not that too little, like you saw the ones we posted, right? It was like
nope,
2 rides you get.
I don't ever get those. Nope. Nothing. So I wasn't sure how it was going to go, and it was actually kind of slow at first, but that's kind of normal. And then kind of, as it always does, it picks up and it gets around midnight. And I'm pretty sure it was probably around 1 or 1:30. Ended up picking up a gentleman and his girlfriend. They were probably right around 60-ish, maybe a little 61, 62, something like that. He sat up front, she sat in the back. He was just one of those jovial guys that just, talks and real good mood and everything. So it was a pretty decent, length ride, probably good, 15-minute ride. And he's like, I'm in for it, man. He's like, I drank too much. He's like, my girlfriend is going to beat me when we get home. And I was like, oh, really? He's like, she beats me with a belt, like within an inch of my life. And I'm like, sorry to hear that, man. She's like, you shut up. Don't be telling him that. She's getting old. No, I'm just playing along with it. And he's like, oh, dang, we're getting close. It's like, I'm gonna get beat. I was like, well, you probably deserve it. He's like, yeah, I really do. Just that kind of conversation, just having fun. But
Yeah.
yeah, we get there and she's, and as I, park in the driveway, she's like asking him, do you have any cash? Do you have any cash? He's like, it's all on the app. She's like, no, for a tip. So she's digging around, he's digging around. So she's like, oh, I got some. She hands me $20. I was like, oh,
Okay.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Wow.
And then she gets out and walks up and he does the thing where he has the money in the palm of his hand and shakes my hand,
Yeah.
and then he's like, look at that. And I look at it, it's $100 bill.
No.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his ass beat and he lost $100.
So they tipped me 120, and then I think it was like a $4 tip on the app too. I think.
God, I love it when that happens.
I do. Yeah, I mean that's probably the biggest tip I've ever had.
Yeah,
120. I know I had 100 from the Mr. Merck that I took down in Nashville to the horse races.
Right.
But yeah, that's probably it. But yeah, just real super nice guy. And people always ask, especially the riders, like, oh man, New Year's Eve, I bet it's crazy. I have never had any really big crazy things happen on New Year's Eve. Everybody's usually in a good mood. They've been drinking, but most of the time they're not really sloshed.
Agreed. I think my biggest issue is on St. Patty's Day.
Yes, yeah. People get absolutely yeah, and a lot of younger people on St. Patty's Day. Yeah, St. Patty's Day was the day I had that girl drop her trousers there right next to my car and take a whiz.
Yeah. I think New Year's Eve is a lot of like older people that
they're having parties with their friends.
I just don't want to get a DUI.
Yeah. Like I said, they're out at they're at a party, and a lot of them may not even go out till later. They come home right after midnight, and so they don't get really just absolutely trash and blackout drunk or anything. So yeah, you don't have any trouble. But yeah, it ended up being a good night. Being my best night. It was my best, most amount I've made in a day.
Oh, good for you. I mean, you 46 hours and 24. So you better make good money.
All right. Do that time travel.
That's right. All right. Gig economy in the news. Grubhub, and some of this stuff is a little bit older. This was actually the day before we went on our last episode. So they Grubhub to pay $25 million for misleading customers, restaurants, and drivers. Honestly, I don't even know why this is happening. Like, I mean, I know why it's happening, but why does every company, DoorDash has done that, had to pay stuff, Uber, but so this was basically for misleading customers about order fees, adding restaurants to the platform without their consent, and deceiving drivers about pay. The settlement requires Grubhub to cease the practices and pay $25 million. The agency sought $140 million judgment against the company, but reduced it what Grubhub was able to pay. They said if Grubhub is found to have misrepresented its final position, the full penalty will apply. The food delivery platform hid fees until the last minute, misled Grubhub Plus subscribers to believe they can avoid fees, and blocked some customers from using their gift card balances, according to the lawsuit. Drivers were also told they could earn up to $26 an hour, when in reality only the top 2% achieve these rates. So, yeah.
So it's possible. You're saying it's possible.
You're saying it's possible. Yeah. A lot of misrepresentation, which, that's what it boils down to for all those apps.
Yeah, they all do it. They all promise you the moon, and then they're all just kind of sketchy, and they will cheat and cut corners and do what they can.
The crazy part is the $25 or $26 an hour. That actually claim seems pretty low. Normally they're like, remember DoorDash or maybe Uber was like $45 an hour.
Yeah, in certain cities, Chicago or somewhere.
Somewhere, but
it's so funny that they wanted it. What did they say? 140 something million, but they lowered it
to 25 because that's what Grubhub said that they could afford to pay.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, did you hear? What was it a month or so ago when I think it was Russia, find Facebook, but they find them. They find them. It's more than like all the money that's in the world.
Oh, what?
Yeah, they find them this huge amount. It's never going to happen. But yeah, they find. I forget how many. I don't even remember what the amount was. But
what do you go billion and then you got trillion? It's probably over.
It's over that.
Something?
I don't know, but yeah, I'll have to find it sometime and read it again. But yeah, it was kind of funny. They find them more money than's on the earth.
That's crazy. Good old companies. It frustrates me to no end,
Mhm.
and I would think that a lot of other companies are doing like, I
Mhm.
think to myself, "Is Home Depot doing this? Is Lowe's doing this?" Like, I don't know, like, it just feels a little, like, scammy, all these gig companies.
Yeah, I mean, because Lyft, not too long ago got fined pretty
Yep,
big. Uber's been fined no telling how many times.
right,
Grubhub, DoorDash, yeah, uh, yeah. You wonder if in 20 years when these companies are hopefully more established, are they still going to be doing this kind of stuff? Are they still going to be doing
right.
this sketchy, cutting the corner stuff? And yeah, you wonder where it happens. And you know,
I don't know if is this a boardroom decision? Is this like a software
mhm.
engineer trying to skim off the top? Like I mean, do they sit around and say, "Hey, let's do this"? Like, are they actually,
Oh,
you
I
know what
think
I
they
mean?
do. I
Do
think
you
they do.
think so?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%.
Okay, well, that's even worse.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, yeah, it's
that
not
they're
just some rogue employee skimming off the top, no.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah,
All
unfortunately.
right, drones have been in the news a lot, not
Yeah.
for this, but, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Wing, which is a subsidiary of Google's parent company, Alphabet, is going to expand their drone delivery service to DoorDash customers in Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. This is back on December 18th. 50 merchants from malls in the Frisco and Fort Worth area will be available for drone delivery through the DoorDash app, dropping meals and items to people's homes in as little as 15 minutes. So the drones can fly at up to 65 miles an hour, reach a cruising height of about 150 feet before they stop to hover and safely lower the orders to the ground. DoorDash customers will have to have an eligible address in the Dallas Fort Worth area for the drone delivery option to appear on the checkout page. And there's also a website they can check out, the Wing website, to see if their house is qualifies to get the drone delivery. And this company Wing says that they've now completed more than 400,000 commercial deliveries worldwide, starting in 2019. This is similar to drone uh, service that they've trialed in Australia and in Virginia, although the one in Virginia was limited to only delivering from Wendy's for some reason. I don't know. Uh,
Frosties?
yeah, exactly. Says this isn't the first service Wing has introduced to Dallas Fort Worth. They've also previously teamed up with Walgreens to airdrop local deliveries. Walmart also operates its own drone delivery program in the area via partnership with Wing and Zipline. So, man, these guys drones flowing everywhere, man. I think it
Yeah.
would be cool to try. I think it would be neat to try. And I
Yeah,
just like the look of that drone. They have some of the cool looking drones. It's not like your little quadcopter that you see people flying,
yeah.
flying around. These are some hefty size drones. That must be what happened in New Jersey. They're just getting food delivery up there. It's all them drones are, them
You
big
think
old
so?
drones. Yeah, maybe they're delivering cars or something. I don't know, something bigger.
I don't know. I don't the drone thing is cool, but I just don't see it feasible, like, all these drones in the air. Like, I get it when I mean, you would everyone would have to communicate with each other. You'd need some sort of software that said,
Well, they have collision avoidance already on them.
yeah, but then okay, so they avoid the collision. Now they're off course. Can they get back on course? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's no big deal.
it just seems like a lot of rigmarole to get, send a guy Amazon Flex driver out there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. No, I understand. It's like just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something.
yeah,
Kind of thing. But we see it. It's kind of like the autonomous cars. We're starting to see more and more of it.
yeah.
They're determined to make it work.
Well, I mean, it's probably, I think about the airplanes. Like, they do a pretty decent job, but every once in a while there's a little scare because somebody missed a blip on the radar. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Would
sure.
this be more safe just because it's probably not a driver? Once they put the coordinates in, it's all kind of AI, not AI,
Yeah,
like autopilot.
yeah. It just follows a GPS.
Yeah,
Flight path. Yeah, there's no. I'm sure there's probably nobody flying it.
right.
Um, and the good thing is, so if it did crash, somebody's going to lose their noodles. It's
Yeah,
probably
but
not going
here's
to
the
hurt
thing.
anybody.
What happens when they crash in the air and it comes down and kills a kid?
Well, then somebody's getting sued, and then
Well, yeah, I know
yeah,
that, but I'm
and
just
then
saying, like,
exactly. it will happen for sure.
Yeah, even though how many people die in car crashes every day,
Mhm.
they'll be like, "Well, you could have avoided this." Because I mean, we have to drive, right? Like that's
Yep.
just a reality. It's really hard unless you live in a big city to not drive.
Yeah.
But that's just kind of a luxury to get it droned, drone
No, I
delivered.
agree. Yeah, and uh, not even just food. We're even more like an Amazon package that could be, quite a bit heavier ends up dropping
Yeah,
on your head.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. It's always interesting with the new technology for sure.
No doubt.
Okay, so I've had this EV incentive. Now this is Canada, so take that with a grain of salt. And then it was like they gave me $1 every single time I did a ride, and that was great. And then all of a
Mhm.
sudden they said, "Oh, you have to hit 250 rides in this period, and if you don't get any of it. So you hit 249 rides, and you miss it that one ride, you get nothing." So I stopped doing it because I'm a part-time driver. I'm not going to be able to get those rides. And then looks like in Canada, starting February 1st, drivers of fully electric vehicles, EVs, will need to qualify for Diamond Uber Pro status to receive the zero emissions. Diamond tier EV drivers can earn an extra dollar for every ride, up to $4,000 in a 12-month period. So at least they rolled back. You don't have to do it the 250 or whatever it was. I don't
Yeah.
quite remember the number. So I guess if you're already a Uber Pro, um,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
away.
it's going to take you a number of rides to get to Diamond anyway.
Yeah, let's see. Well, then on the bottom, it says all platinum and diamond EV drivers of fully electric vehicles will continue to automatically get $1 extra on every trip, plus get an extra 250 for completing 1,000 trips in an EV over a 3-month. 1,000 trips in 3 months? I don't even know the math. What is that? Like 350 a month?
Yeah, I mean 333 a month.
Yeah, 333 a month.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a lot
yeah,
of rides, but
yeah,
I don't understand why Uber is doing this. They push the electric vehicle. They want everyone to get one, and then all of a sudden, okay, we're not going to give you bonuses for it. Maybe
yeah.
because everyone decided to get one, and then they're like, "Holy shit, this is costing us a fortune."
Exactly.
I mean, I don't understand it. Honestly, I think you charge the customer the extra dollar. If you want to save the environment, you got to pay an extra dollar and give that to the driver, or give them 50 cents or something.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they're kind of rolling it back. I can only think because they're, you know, trying to save money and it's costing them a fortune. That's the only thing I can think of.
Sure.
Traveler says he's late. No, you're not late. You're 30 minutes early,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Is that Miguel said? Yeah, it was Google and it wasn't Facebook. It was Google that found by Russia. They got 20
Decalin?
decacillion.
Decacillion?
Yeah, fine is so large it's more than the world's gross domestic product.
I wonder what if you took everyone's earnings, I wonder how much money is in the world. Like
I
even
don't
with all
know.
the,
Uh,
exchange and different shit, all that stuff. So,
that's crazy.
well, I would
Mm.
say, I mean, I always recommend people to get an EV for if you're gonna
Yeah.
be a serious gig worker,
Mhm.
get an EV. And there's so much hate on EVs, and I don't know why. I don't understand it. I think, like I've said before, it's all politicized, but it saves you so much fucking money.
Yeah.
Like your biggest expense is fuel. And
Yep.
if you can spend $8 a night or whatever it is. Now, if you don't have a charger at home, I wouldn't do it. You'll
Right.
be paying a fortune.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a caveat there. You do have to
There
get
is
the
a
charger at
caveat.
home. But how
Yeah.
much is it to get a charger at home? Round ballpark.
Well, I had to have I had an upgraded box, but I think it ended up being like 1,500 for the wire install. Now he had to run it the length of my house. So
Mhm.
if your box is like right by your garage or whatever,
Yeah, not gonna be as much.
no, it'd be like $500, and I think my charger was 500. But again, Chevy gave me 500
Mhm.
for to apply. No, they gave me 1,000, so I only had to pay 500 out of pocket. And then my EV charger, the electric company gave me a rebate for
Yeah.
$500, and it
So
was
there you go.
$450. So
Yeah.
I technically only paid 500, but I know a lot of apartment complexes are offering chargers, but The problem is there's only 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah. You got an apartment complex that has, 300 apartments in there and you got 2
Yeah.
chargers sitting out there.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with
Yeah.
EVs is not having the infrastructure at apartments and stuff. But if you own a home, like no brainer. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a ride on the EV. I'm not like this big EV nerd or anything. I actually recommend if you can get a plug-in hybrid. I think that's the great for most families that just don't drive far for work. The plug-in hybrid is the way to go. So
yeah, no doubt.
Larry, this is interesting.
All right, so yeah, this is a TikTok. This shows it's one of the I think it's one of the Amazon places in New York City where they were striking.
Yeah,
And this just kind of shows apparently Amazon trying to get them to
move.
Move. That's a good way.
Here we go. Well, the weird part of it is it's kind of a sunny day, so it's not from rain, but how are they able to like redirect that water? And you know what? Take it with a grain of salt. It could be a striker that's just trying to throw Amazon on the bus, but for people that are listening, it was just pouring out of the like a pipe in the wall.
There's a pipe coming out of the side of the wall. I don't know. I can't tell exactly. I don't know exactly what that pipe is necessarily for. But yeah, it's shooting right on the ground. They're right where the guys are striking and kind of going down the street where they're all set up.
Just kind of just disturbing them just to make it more uncomfortable. But bringing up that and I don't know, Miguel maybe can definitely comment on this, but there was a warehouse near us that someone said that they went on strike, and I think it's back open, but it seems very like hit or miss on which warehouses are doing it. Those kind of things. I obviously support them, but I don't know if it was DGR6, so I don't know if it's back open or not. But another thing, I just want to bring this up because I can't believe I didn't post it, but it has to do with Flex. So apparently, actually, that doesn't really matter. It's just a letter. But apparently, some of those drivers that came on during Christmas, they're letting go.
Really?
Yeah, they've been getting letters say you can accept blocks up to January 10, but after that, thank you for your service. And I'm like, wow, that's really good. I mean, not for them.
Yeah.
But that's what FedEx does and UPS, but I've never seen Amazon do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard of that either.
So Miguel's pretty excited. Okay, DGR6 is back open because it was tough during peak to get a decent route. You were fighting for your life. The strike lasts like a day. Well, he can't do it for a day. Maybe they just were testing the waters to see, how it would work out. But yeah, I bet there's gonna be a lot of pissed off flex workers, thinking somebody commented they were on the wait list for 2 years. They got on for this peak and then they were off January 10.
Just got them a little taste of it. Just here's what you're missing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Amazon Flex is hit or miss. You could have great weeks and you can have just I can't get a route and they're not busy. So but
like most of the gig work.
Yeah, exactly. So here is a guy that throws packages. Shit, did I save that video? I think I did. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So this is the epitome of like I fucking got the worst route in the world and I am pissed. So we'll watch that. Basically, he's throwing his packages.
Airmail.
Yep. Well, I'm going to talk, and I know Larry can't hear me, but there's no
I can hear you.
You can. Oh, there's no sound on the video. That's why. Yeah. So he's loading it, chucks one in there.
Yeah.
Then picks up a big one.
Yeah.
And just.
But here's what gets me. Dude is just creating more work for himself.
I know.
It'd be so much easier just move that cart like 2 feet over right next to his car and just take him out, put him in his trunk. He's just throwing on the ground. He's creating more work for himself there.
Well, apparently, the comment says that the big box opened up. I don't know if it shows in the video. And what a dumb fuck.
Yeah, he's not happy with his career choice right now.
Well, I mean, you're right. You're exactly right. You're making more work for yourself. Oh, he sets that one in there. Good job.
Yeah,
Good job. But yeah, apparently the big box broke, he said.
yeah,
Okay, the
busted
video son.
open.
And so he had to go find some tape to get it all taped up. But yeah, I feel that guy though, as much as we're teasing him. I feel
Sure.
that frustration because
Oh, we've all been there. Yeah,
oh
we've all been there. Whether it's rideshare or delivery, food delivery, or Amazon, whatever. We've all had those moments where like you just want to throw something, you just want
well
to hit something.
well when you're doing rideshare, you can't throw or hit those people, but at least with packages you can get away with throwing it around.
Exactly.
I always think it's funny too when people are like, um, they get so mad when they see somebody throw their package.
Yeah.
You're like, it's closed, bro. I mean,
Yeah, if it's closed and stuff like that, and it's not something. Who cares?
well, it's
Who
funny.
cares?
People try to like troll
Yeah,
the delivery worker, and then the
yeah,
comments are like, that's probably a pair of jeans. You're lying. That's not compute. I mean, I guess it
right.
could be computer parts, but you can see it flopping. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
right.
anyways, fuck
Yeah.
them. All right, next up. This was funny, Larry. I have to admit.
Okay, this guy named Josh Johnson. I follow him on TikTok. I think he used to be on the Daily Show as a
Okay, I didn't recognize him.
yeah, but he's stand-up comedy now, and I really enjoy his stuff. He's his TikToks are generally pretty long, several minutes long. So, and, he's a real or fairly it seems like a clean comedian, but this is just his insight into how it worries him when he sees a white Uber driver.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that it was only a minute 3. So here we go.
Yeah.
The economy is getting worse and worse because more and more of my Uber drivers have been white. And this is terrifying, all right? Is the economy in shambles? What's happening? Do you know the terror that goes through my heart when I open up Uber and it says Spencer will be there in 3 minutes? I'm like, nuh-uh. Whatever happened to him is happening to me next week, all right? This is very bad. And the worst part about having a white Uber driver is their honesty. Because I'm a jovial guy. I get in the car and I'm like, hey, how's it going? White Uber driver tell you the truth. They will. They'll let it all out. You know what I mean? Hey, how's it going? She took everything. Like, oh, yo. I did not know. I remember the first time it happened. I'll never forget my first white Uber driver. Tyler. I got in the car. I was like, hey, man, how's it going? He's like, obviously not fucking well. I'm like, okay, whoops, my bad.
Oh yeah, he's good. I always enjoy it. That's probably like a 1 minute clip out of his like 5 minute clip that's on TikTok.
Oh, okay. He's a big
his
storyteller.
yeah, and his like I said, his clips are always pretty long. They're not like 20, 30-second clips, but he's pretty good. I like the way he tells his stories.
Yeah, comedy is so many different things. You could just be telling jokes, or you're just an amazing storyteller and very he's very animated too. So that really helps. But yeah, I instantly fell in love with that guy.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. You can definitely check him out. But yeah, that is a pretty funny story about getting worried because you see more white Uber drivers.
Right. Is the economy in shambles? Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Octopus tablet. We'd love for you. We haven't talked about them in a couple months, maybe. I don't know, but we'd love for you to try it. Check the link in the description. If you are a rideshare driver just trying to make some extra money, this is something you definitely want to check out. It is a kind of a residual income up to about $100 a month, but passengers can play games. They can do trivia, all kinds of fun stuff. People really enjoy having it on there. There's always competitions, those kind of things. You actually, as a passenger, you can win the prize for the day if you have the highest score. And what's really funny to me is when I haven't drove much in the last 6 months, but when I've had it, I have sent mine back. By the way, I officially sent it back a couple months ago. But they think they're fucking badass on it, and then they see the score and they're like,
yeah,
oh shit.
That cracks me up. Yeah, they're back there like, oh man, we are killing it. We are killing it. And they're like, what'd you get? Oh, we got 6. What's the high score? Like 32.
Right. Do you think anyone that has won the Amazon gift card was drunk or not? They're all sober, right? Like,
You got to be, yeah.
I
I
mean,
think so.
if you're
You have to
drunk,
be
you're
quick,
gonna
man.
fuck
You have
that
to be
up.
so quick on there. Yeah, I'm actually not sending my back for good, but mine won't power on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had taken it down out of my car when I had gone to Nashville to visit my brother-in-law a little bit over the Christmas break because I don't like having it in my car when I'm parked in Nashville. And I went to put it in my car yesterday, wouldn't come on, and so I brought it back in, plugged it in overnight, thinking maybe that just needed a good charge, and it will not come on.
You can't even see the battery, like,
Nope, nothing.
Because I know I had real trouble with that. I would have to do like a whatever, because I don't have an Android, but a real hard reset on it, and then it would power up. But
yeah, so we'll see. I'm gonna fool with it a little bit again after the show tonight, but if not, I'll go ahead and send it back. But they're great about sending stuff. It's funny too. Right before the Christmas holiday, somehow my cable got broke. The end of it got broke. It's been, I don't know, second or third time that's happened. And I was trying to send in a request, and they're really good about sending parts, but it didn't seem like it was going through. And all of a sudden, I ended up getting 3 cables. They sent me 3 cables.
Well, maybe send 2 of them back when you send the tablet back.
No, I'm keeping them. I just keep it for when I need them the next.
Oh, that's true. You are rough on your equipment.
Not me, passengers.
All right. Well, yeah, check them out. Link is in the description if you want to make some residual. Is it residual?
Yes, residual income.
Residual income. Like, it's not a ton, but it can give you a tank and a half of gas or a little
and
bit
you don't have to do anything. You literally you mount the tablet in there, hook it up, power it, and you really don't have to do much at all besides that. They do all the updates, and they're really good about keeping an update with whatever's going on in the world at the time, whether it's a holiday or a sporting event, the World Series, March Madness, whatever.
All right, moving on. This is for Spark. And I do have an update on this. So it says update your earnings account by 122. Effective on 122, branch wallet will no longer be offered as an earning account in Spark. And it's like a separate company that the money goes to. You can get a card or whatever. So you have to do that by 122, or you will be not deactivated, but you won't be able to earn until you change it. And I think Larry's next story is about them getting sued, and this is why.
Yes.
So that being said, fast forward, I was like, okay, I'll do it just so I can have content for the show. Won't let me add my own bank. So you can add your own bank account or use the other one called One or something. It's another company.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want a debit card. I guess it goes right on the card, and I don't want that. I want it. I mean, if you can put it on my own debit card, great, but I want it. I don't want to use a card and
right. I don't want another account that I have to mess with.
Well, and I had to use Branch. That was the only way you could.
Exactly.
So I did it.
And that's why they're getting
sued. But it was relatively easy to transfer.
Sure.
It wasn't hard. But I think the one, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I think it goes to the card, and then I'm sure maybe you can transfer. I don't know. But but basically, I put my routing number and all that in there, and it says error. So
okay, I'll try to do mine if I'm still active on Spark, which I don't know if I am.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you aren't. But yeah, so that was a little frustrating.
Sure.
I'm trying to get it done before the deadline because the second the deadline happens, I'm gonna want to get back on, and B, everyone on their brother's gonna be trying to do it. So then there might be issues, but I haven't seen anyone else talk about it. And I even tried it twice. I know you're probably thinking, you fat fingered it. No, I did it twice. I even wrote everything down on a piece of paper. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not doing it right, and it just wouldn't update. So I may have to do the one, but why don't you jump into your article about the lawsuit?
Yeah, so the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau sued Walmart and a financial tech company over allegations that Walmart forced drivers to use costly, complicated deposit accounts in order to get paid, and they raked in millions in the process.
Of course.
So the agency said Walmart and its vendor Branch Messenger allegedly forced drivers they didn't allegedly, they did it. We know, we lived through it. They forced drivers who were part of Walmart Spark driver gig work platform to use Branch digital deposit accounts to be paid, going as far as to add that add that workers would be terminated if they did not use branch.
Damn.
So Walmart made false promises, illegally opened accounts, and took advantage of more than 1 million delivery drivers. Suit alleges that for 2 years, beginning in 2021, Walmart branch opened accounts for new drivers using personal information such as social security numbers without their consent and deposited pay into the accounts without drivers' authorizations. Drivers were unable to access the funds without agreeing to branch's terms and conditions, while drivers faced the threat of termination if they refused to use the accounts. It's further alleged that the companies misled gig workers about the availability of same-day access to their earnings and managed to harvest more than $10 million in junk fees when workers took steps to transfer their money to a separate banking account of their own choice. Says companies cannot force workers into getting paid through accounts that drain their earnings with junk fees. The CFPB director added, the final proposal of a new rule would require banks, credit card issuers, and other financial providers to unlock an individual's personal financial data and transfer it to another provider at the consumer's request without any costs, moving the United States closer to open banking.
So that must have been early when they started. I feel like there was something before the branch when I started. Then they used branch, but I never got any fees for transferring my money. I think the problem is they only offered, well, one of the problems, they only offered the branch card or account. You couldn't put ACH, which they have now, but I can't, we may see another
supposedly they have it now.
We may see another lawsuit in 2 years that said they, purposely errored it. So you ended up going with the one. But yeah, that's the thing. You got to be able to offer both. You can't just say this is the only way you're able to get your money. I mean, I've never had any app do that. They've always offered you can get it direct deposit, but not, not say you have to use, whatever.
Yeah, you have to use this that we provide.
Right. Because that's a little scammy. But it sounds like they were doing, like I said, charging you to transfer. Now they will they do charge on branch to transfer it instantly,
right? And that's common. I mean, that's the same thing that Venmo does. If you want to do it instantly, it's going to cost you,
but you have a choice. That's
exactly, you have a choice. You're not forced to do that. But just another, like we talk about, you always have to be watching. These companies will do the sketchy stuff. They're always out to take more money any way they can.
The frustrating part about Walmart, so you remember we actually had them at a sponsor, that DDI work. They still is that's still the back end for Walmart Spark. Now I think Walmart does own them, and I think they decided instead of like recreating it through Walmart,
gonna go with it.
They're just gonna go with it. But when it's just weird, like when you have to go to a separate website. I don't know, because I feel like Uber doesn't do that, Lyft doesn't do that, DoorDash, everything's done on their site with their servers and all that other stuff. So
fucking why can't they?
Why can't they just do it themselves? And again, they're probably trying to save money.
Sure.
Miguel says seems like every company is out to nickel and dime you. I know. That's why I'm so loyal when I find if it's a local business or even if it's a big company, if they like Chewy, they deliver my food. When one of my dogs died, they sent flowers. Like it's a whole thing, and I'm like, I will be loyal to them. The day I die.
Yeah, and I've heard other stories very similar to that about Chewy. Somebody up there knows what the hell they're doing. That's all.
Yeah. Now I know their stock sucks dick because I have some on stash, and maybe because they're sending flowers to every. I mean, I'm sure they don't do it for everybody. One time when I think it might have been one of my dog's birthdays, someone drew my dog and they sent it. Like it was like a random artist that they like contracted with. And
really?
Yeah, I'm like, but again, the stock is shit. So what's going on? The investors are like, what the fuck? But I'm saying, going back to like the nickel and diming, like if I find a company that treats me good, even if it's not the cheapest out there, I'm going to be loyal to you and you're honest with me and those kind of things. I wish we could get back to that.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially in certain areas, like if you can find a mechanic that you really trust, or find an electrician or plumber, or something that if it's something that I don't know about, especially because they can be telling me it's your space modulator needs fixing, and I'm like, all right,
how much? 1,000? All right, sounds good.
We'll get two of them. We'll get two of them just in case I can have a spare.
Yeah, just as an example, we had somebody come out and fix our gas fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't cheap, thorough as fuck.
Yeah,
like did a great job, cleaned everything, cleaned the glass and the dust off the rack when he was done. Like he didn't make the dust. We just hadn't cleaned it. You know what I mean? I'm like, for life.
Yeah, but that's just that little. I mean, that's just a little extra touch. And how long does it take them? A minute or two.
Yeah,
no time at all. But people, people are impressed with that because it's so rare anymore.
Yeah, and
you go that extra step, and you can really build customer.
I mean, he did a good job. He even said, "Oh, your logs aren't positioned right." Like he did this whole thing, and it ended up being like $500 because we had to replace some parts and stuff. But I hope to never see him again. But I'll tell anybody about this guy because So I know this isn't a business podcast, but it's a soapbox podcast. I think sometimes
that's right.
So fuck Walmart and Branch. Hopefully they can get their shit together so I can just get direct deposit. So I don't have to sign up for another freaking account. That'll probably get my identity stolen.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can log into my Park. And
you're probably deactivated. Well,
probably
plan on getting your license out. If you aren't deactivated and they scan your license front and back, you got to do front, left. Yeah, you got to show them your beehole. It's a whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, not that you're used to that.
All right, the first time.
So this, I just thought this. I mean, is this a troll? New driver. In parentheses, on foot. Hello, I turn 18 in 6 hours and like to start deliveries every day on foot. However, I was wondering if this requires a driver's license as I don't have yet. Well, first of all, there's several things wrong with that. If you're on foot, you don't need a fucking driver's license. And are there on foot deliveries? Are there small markets or small sections? Or am I like
I've not heard that. I mean, I know there's places in big cities where they do bike deliveries or but I've not heard of walking. But it may be.
I mean, there's a guy that I follow. I think I don't know one of the platforms that does on bike in New York City, and it's fun. He does great content. But yeah, I can see bike, but on foot, like. I mean, that would be crazy. Larry, the Google master, is going to check it out. But I mean, we've seen the funny quotes where the guy is actually driving or walking the door, the food delivery. And so, we've talked about it and stuff. But yeah, it's interesting that he says that. And again, I watch, I get egg on my face and you're like, yeah, in the boroughs in New York or something, I don't know. I mean, they probably could set something up because a lot of that stuff's so close. Like here, you can only deliver in this, 4-block radius if you want to do it on foot, I guess. I mean, if it only takes 10 minutes to deliver the food on foot, what's the big deal? But
this surely this can't be true.
Oh no! Oh no! Did you find the truth?
This is on Uber's website.
No.
About delivering on foot in parentheses Uber Walker. But it's not available in the United States. This is Tokyo. It's like Osaka, all these Japanese places.
Okay, so Tokyo, they cram the shit into that city. Everything's really tight.
Yeah, it says in central Tokyo, such as the 23 wards of Tokyo, there may be more requests for deliveries on foot.
Well,
as with bicycles, 2 documents are required: an ID card and a profile photo.
Well, I can still call him a dumbass because you don't need a driver's license if you're on foot, you stupid dick.
That is for sure.
Well, apparently Lackwoods, I would guess he's probably in the States. So he Googled what you did and then was like, hey, is this possible?
Yeah.
I don't know. Stupid idiot. All right. Yeah, moving on. Let's do these last 2 TikToks.
Okay.
And that's all we got. This is girl. I love this guy.
Yeah, this one's funny. Yeah, this is good. Dude. This is a guy who does a skit. It's kind of about how girl passengers are versus men passengers and on an Uber ride.
And dude, this guy has such funny content. It's mostly a mom and a dad. Like this is how mom reacts if you're late for school. Oh my gosh, there's one. I laugh so hard. I go back and watch it if I'm in a bad mood just because how freaking funny it is.
I'll have to follow him.
Yeah, he's so good. I don't quite remember his name offhand, but
it's down there. It's on the bottom. I got it.
Okay. Okay. Shit. Where is it? Oh, here we go.
Hi, are you my Uber driver?
Yeah, Uber for Lindsay.
My name is Lindsay. If you're really my Uber driver, then what address are you taking me to?
123 Road Street.
Okay, I'm gonna trust you. Hey, how you doing? Uber for Trevor?
No, I have an Uber for Michael.
Yeah, that's all right. It's close enough. I'll give you $20. Just take me home. I'm warning you right now. I have pepper spray, a butter knife, and my dad's an FBI agent. So don't try anything weird. So, busy night tonight? Okay, we made it home. But I'm just letting you know right now, you look a little creepy. Maybe shave your mustache off so you don't scare any more girls. All right, man, thanks for the ride home. Hey, I gotta ask, how do you get your mustache looking so good? Is it like an oil or something?
Oh, no, it's all natural.
Well, that's pretty impressive, man. Keep it up.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And honestly, people would ask about my beard. You put beard
Oh
oil
yeah.
on your beard balm? That was a big thing too. But
I'm sure.
yeah. What's that guy's handle? I don't.
It is the Trevor Abney. So the Trevor Abney. TREVORABNEY with the word D in front of it. Yeah.
If you got like it's spot on. I love the creativity in the human race is fucking amazing. And that guy is just spot on, like the mom. I mean, I'm sure it could be flip-flop. The dad could be fussy, but man, God, there's one where he goes, "Mom, I'm late." And he's like, "Son of a bitch." Just like, you can just see this mom just losing her mind. And I have tears rolling down my eyes when I watch this guy.
Oh yeah.
So damn funny.
Yeah.
And then the last one is, I think it's a montage of drivers getting chased by dogs, which is fucking hilarious. Sorry. While I watch it and get stressed, I know I've been there. It's still funny to watch.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Got it. Work, buddy. No. He's not an attack. No. Please. Oi! I can get back. Oh.
All right, I feel bad. Everybody are you frozen, Larry?
No.
Oh, you were sitting so still. Holy shit. Anybody that's watching or listening to the podcast, go to the notes. I always put the link in there. It's really good, but some of those were hilarious. The fake dog.
Yeah, that was good.
I
yeah,
mean,
in the doghouse there. They had one of those the very first escape room that me and my kids did. Like that was where the very final key was inside that doghouse.
No.
And I went to reach in there and then that dog did that. It got me a little bit.
Crap out of you.
Got me a little bit, I have to say.
Yeah. I don't do those scary rooms or houses. That's just too much for me. But yeah, what I was saying, because obviously you couldn't hear me, but like all these drivers running. No, the UPS did a good job.
Yeah,
see how
he's
he was
sitting right down, man.
You get big. You're like just like a bear. I mean, it won't work for every dog, but I would say majority of the dogs, once they realize, oh, this guy's here to not fuck around.
Yeah, that dog came, just boom, went the other direction right away.
He's like, nope, not today, not today. Now, again, we're not dog trainers, so I'm giving this as a tip. But if you get big with them and show them who's boss, they typically will back off. But the second you run, that's what they want. They want to chase your ass.
Yeah.
Now, not this. I've run from turkeys. We've told this story. I will run from turkeys because guess what? I can outrun a fucking turkey. I can't outrun a dog. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. And that one, there was one in there that the guy jumped into. I think it was later on. Maybe he jumped into his UPS van. I'm like, "There's no door. That's not going to stop the dog."
Well, early on, you saw the one guy jump on the on the hood of his FedEx. So that advice also works.
Oh, come on, that deserves a sound effect. I was getting ready to say that was a good one. Good one, Miguel.
How's that working out for you? Aren't you divorced? Oh.
Oh,
he's gonna kill me.
He is gonna punch you down and kill you.
He's gonna punch me right in the teeth. So anyways, that was fun. I enjoyed that. If you are listening, come join us on the show. Watch these videos with us. We would love to have you on here. So we're gonna try the 7 o'clock time. How does that work for everybody?
So, 7 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Central. And 5 o'clock Mountain and 4 o'clock Pacific.
Yep, that would be right. Obviously it worked for Bubba Sue because she was right on time.
Midnight if you're over in London.
Stop. They can figure it out on their own. I always hate that. Like every time I tell you the time, I'm like, I hope he just figures out on himself because I don't know.
I know you always use your time. I know that by now.
Always my time. That's right.
That's how we revolves around Jason.
That's right. Well, anyways, thank you all for listening so much. Check out that newsletter. Please subscribe to Patreon if you like more content. And appreciate y'all. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
We'll see you on the road. Good to be back, guys.
Yeah, it is good to be back. Except Miguel.